Hi, everybody. This is Allison from Alley Cat Creations. How are you? Please like a doodle, share, subscribe to my channel if you have yet to do so. And if you get anything from my work, connect the dot. An epiphany, a mind explosion, a new book to read, a new author to explore, artwork to create. Mr. Snowman. Please consider supporting my work. All the links are at the bottom of this description. alisonkatz.com is my website. It's a portfolio. You get to see all the pyramids, all the skulls, all the paintings, sculptural paintings, hyper-realistic drawings. Not done yet. Handles, craft and sip, paint and sip, all that stuff is there. And if you're interested in a commission or anything that I have, please email me or reach me out on social media. I do everything commerce-wise, privately. I got memberships. Channel memberships is a great way to contribute to this channel. It helps me, and it's a great way to get some value for your buck. You guys at 3D and 4D level get Oracle card readings. I'm compiling it now to do the channel member only Oracle reading. It is over an hour long. It is a lot of different decks, a lot of different cards, messages on how to help yourself, heal yourself, take the path less traveled. What is spirit providing for you? What is the themes of what's going on in your life? And I hone into the channel members, which is not many people. So you guys get a lot right there. I charge $40 for a personal reading, and you're getting it 4 times a month for cheap. You guys get special emojis when you come into my live chats. You guys get a new one I finally got a baddie one up after 8 million pictures. Baddie finally is up. Pinky I still have to work on. This is baddie. You get baddie emojis. You get Little Thor, Freya, tampon emojis, and chicken painting, by the way. So if you're interested, there's a link. There's a button. Go check it out. 4D memberships get to work with me with what I'm doing behind the scenes in making coursework and presentations. And the one I'm working on will be a video for everybody to watch because it's about quantum language and spirituality. So it's a very interesting dynamic that is taking me a lot longer than I expected, but there's a lot of research that goes into it and a lot of channeling and going within. So please bear along with me. But I'm also going to introduce maybe once a month doing a special channel member only Zoom private, so it's not live, that you guys get to meet each other, talk, and hang out for a little bit. I do have to cap the time on it because I have a lot going on in life, but you could get special access to me, and that's going to be something that I'll be working with this month. So we still have some time left to December. So today we're going to be continuing on for young souls. I like this book. It's not by it's by one of their children, the Curtis's children. And this one's the last 2 chapters were interesting and eye-opening, taking it from when it was written in 1941. A lot of dynamical things have changed, and the way we work our lives and do our things are way different. And what we consider what they were doing back then is archaic at this point. But I like to read these things to see where the dynamic was back at that time. And I'm still dealing with a cold. The kiddos got me sick. I try to spend a lot of today. I slept in, finally. I got to take some supplements and just chill. Not really chill, but I'm always working. but just relaxing because I don't get to do much of that. My beloved coffee. So we're gonna tune into chapter 3, tolerance. Change noted. Change noted. Having seen a large number of persons who changed from cross, irritable, unhealthy looking individuals into cheerful, peaceful, healthy, and good looking, I am hoping that all of you who have studied and learned the lessons in chapter 1 of this book have showed your good sense by applying them to your own lives, deciding to live the healthy way always, taking it for granted that you have I already now to give you some even harder lessons, knowing you are now eager and alert because your bodies and brains are clean and healthy. By the way, sometimes it takes from 2 to 5 years to purify completely some bodies because they have been clogged so long with waste matter. Tolerance. The first lesson you faithful and wise ones are given is that of tolerance. What is tolerance? Just this, giving others the same right to their ideas and opinions as you claim for yourself, and being pleasant about it. You know that all people cannot think alike. In fact, no two think exactly alike, even if they are brought up exactly alike, experiences in past lives, to say nothing of this life. If we think somebody else is weaker than we, let us not condemn him. We must be careful lest we become too cocksure of ourselves and the one we condemn gets ahead of us on the road of progress. No part of the road is easy, but nothing is worth gaining that is not worth striving for. Time out. Chicken. Chicken. That's better. Sorry. We also don't have chicken emojis up. There we go. Chicken, chicken, chicken. Okay. I say this to you guys all the time on my channel. If you watch me live, if you watch my other content, I say this all the time. You are a unique fractal and unique expression of Source. Source is having an experience through you individualistically, uniquely, and metaphysically speaking, you perceive from your two eyes the reality you are creating. So you and everybody else is creating a different type of reality. Some people have political strongness to one and to the other. Some people have an affinity for something else in another, but they feel it to be their truth. So who are you to take that kind of feeling away from them? Oh, there's right or wrong. In the third dimensional sense, sure, maybe. But if you're shifting up, let's modernize this as we speak, into a 4D mindset. 4D is quantum, and everything is unpredictable and chaotic in quantum physics. So there is no right or wrong. There is the higher perceived expression of the totality of 4D. Many of us are up there looking down and understanding why people perceive, why things are playing out the way they are. Does it make it right or wrong? Not necessarily, because everybody's perception of it changes and shifts in that 360 room view where you got a bunch of shit in the middle of the room, and no matter where you stand, you're seeing a different tone, hue, perspective. If you're tall or you're short, you're going to depict it differently from your two eyes. So we need to stop the judgment. We need to really look at ourselves in a dynamical way of, okay, they see the world this way. Let's give them grace. As long as they're not throwing it onto you and throwing it up. I think a lot of my childhood, just going personally here, why I resent religion so much, and not because there's not beautiful words and scripture and structure in any one of the religions I've read or studied, is because I had people throw up onto me their perception, their depiction of what I should be believing and like spewing it on me and condemning me if I don't believe them. I've had the very same people call me the devil and evil things because their book tells them my abilities are satanic. Satan's from God. Sorry. Next. I think a lot of people got thrown off from religion because of people that are so strong in their faith, they couldn't have an expanded viewpoint that not everybody is going to see it their way or feel it or read it in the way that they're conceiving it for their own heart self. And that's fine. That's what was meant to do for you, but not for me. So that was very crafty and beautifully said. We're going to move on now, but I just wanted to give that a little taste because so many people still are sitting in like, well, it's my way or no way, or it's my perception, not yours. People who are stubborn, people who are hard-headed. Sure, like you have boundaries and you're allowed to stick to them, but are you seeing the expanded purpose of why things happen? Are you taking the non-judgmental neg negative and positive and bringing it to the neutral and going, oh, now I get it. Soul contracts, we go back to that as well. Backsliders. As long as we are thinking unkind things about other people, we are not climbing, but sliding backward. The very persons about whom we are thinking intolerant thoughts and about whom perhaps are saying unkind things may be further along the path of attainment progress than we are. We must remember that there may be just as many things to criticize about us as they are about other person. There is some good in everybody, so let us look for that rather than for mistakes. Who doesn't make mistakes? This is why I left a bunch of movements and communities and groups of people who are not on the ascension path as they also preach because they do nothing but shame, blame, insult, what death, destruction, war, and to prove their ego correct. I can't be among those people anymore. I'm in an authentic, different type of frequency, and I'm not here to judge them. I love them. And I hope that one day they see this and they understand what they were feeding in terms of energy and vibration. I'm not alone in saying this. I haven't said anything that other people haven't said. I say in a different frequency, perhaps, but we really have to stop. And this goes to everybody because there's other people on, let's just say the dualistic fence. Everybody is like, it's this or that. It's not this or that. There is common ground to be found in everybody. I think everybody can agree we want peace, prosperity, and abundance for all. I don't think there's one person that would say, unless they're billionaires and on yachts, like they could care less. But for the most part, if we were to take a poll in humanity, I think I don't know how many people wouldn't say yes to those very blankly defined words. Abundance means a billion different things to a billion different people. Prosperity, the same. The poor person is just happy to have the piece of bread as a very well-off person gets the Christmas bonus. Whatever your perception is, I think we all want very much the same thing. We want the world to change. We just can't agree on to how that looks and what that happens, but we're getting there. But if you're going to sit there and feed the negative polarity, the destructive, well, these people are terrible and these people are the cause of all the problems. You're just feeding them to manifest more of the same. You're in the same vibrational loop. You're on the same radio station tuning to the same station. You're not broadening your radio stations to tune to something higher, a different perspective. You're stuck. but I'm ascending. Perhaps you might be, but we're at a crux point. This might be written in 1941, and all their books that were written all the way back when are really, really important to understand in the now. This is why I had to merge and do my own thing. This is why Spirit brought me divine neutrality, because I had to look beyond good and evil to see that God is in all things. That's moving on up, understanding that you're more than this body, understanding that everybody's more than their body, understanding the multidimensionality, understanding you are more than what you are in infinitude, and all things are source. God, the one infinite creator, whatever you want to label it and name it. We have to stop in the third dimensional terms going back there. We're not in lack, separation, and limitation anymore. We are moving in. We're in the void space of unfolding that lotus in 4D. More of us are starting to get the light bulbs and going, oh. And it's okay to come from that spot where that's what you were doing. You're maturing, you're understanding, your definitions are maturing. You're like, oh, why didn't I see this earlier? Because you weren't meant to. Now you do. Yay, let's come kumbaya with us. And it's not all kumbaya either. But the time is now. And if you want to perceive the negative polarity, that's fine, but don't be a hypocrite. Don't be a hypocrite and say, I'm going to ascend and God's all good, but then these people need to die because they are God. So what are you saying? Your energy is frequenting in two different realms of thought. You got to stick with one in order for you to move up or to learn your lesson and to move on. Sorry, I'm preaching, but I don't control everything that comes in my mouth sometimes. Sorry. Kuh. Would you like to hear about the Kuh Club? I will let you in on the secret of this club, for I know you will want to join it. Whenever any one of the members says or begins to say anything unkind about anybody, or acts selfishly, or wants to do something or say something dishonest, one or more of the members of the club will call out, Ka! What do you suppose that means? Here it is. K stands for kind. U stands for unselfish, and H stands for honest. So when they ask, Ka, they mean, is it kind, unselfish, honest? You see, this is a splendid way to stop lots of gossip and hurts, as well as lots of karma. Sure. Chicken bok bok. What do I mean by karma? Just what St. Paul meant when he said, whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. In other words, what we send out into thought, word, or deed will come back to us in kind. Karma is a law of cause and effect. Now, you may form a club of your own and see what fun you have catching one another, and at the same time, how much good you could do in helping one another to grow, kind, unselfish, and honest, and so Christ-like. Foreigners. Are you tolerant with foreigners? After all, what are foreigners? Just people who live or lived where we do not live. Is that wrong? Suppose I said I was born in Colorado and you were not, so you were not as good as I. Would that make sense? We have so much to be ashamed of in ourselves that we have no right to criticize others. Let us imagine a group of babies, one British, one Japanese, one German, one French, one Swedish, one Mexican, one African, one Spaniard, etc. Supposing they were all brought up alike in feeding, worshiping God, and in every other way. If the outside world were kept from them, do you suppose they would know anything about rivalries, antagonism, race hatred, and wars? Their individualities would come out, for even people of one family show their individual characteristics, but they should live together in peace and friendship and not expect others to believe exactly what they do. Get to work on yourself now. You will have much to do before proceeding further. We're going to continue on to chapter 4. These look like a two-part readings, two chapter readings, but I don't think racism is going to end. And I don't necessarily believe it's the way it's portrayed nowadays in modern society. A lot of people that live in large cities, like I lived in New York, I've seen every culture, every race, language. I mean, when you go to vote, there's like 8 different types of languages that you get, and then there's more pages behind it with every language probably on the planet that if you need to vote for whatever, or you need a menu somewhere, there is massive amounts of ways you can read it. And I think it's a beautiful thing. We are all at some juncture needing to have this understanding, and I don't think that this book will go into that, but I'm going to touch it. We were everything before we embodied in this body, in this character, this personality, this color, this race, this whatever. We were it all. We lived on multiple continents. We spoke different languages. And many people I know have affinities for different places around the world more than others. Suppose you, in another concurrent living dimension, live there. Let's talk linearity right now. Sorry, I can't get that word out in the moment. In linear time space, let's talk past, present, future. If you are perceiving past lives, many of you have an affinity to some other place, whether it be their favorite vacation destination or you have a longing to be somewhere. Like one of my 3 longings is Iceland, Ireland, and Norway. Don't know why. Oh, guess what? I was a Viking in past lives, other concurrent lives in the multiverse. That was one of my like homes in most of my incarnations, whatever you want to dub it as. Other people have affinities for other continents. We were all things. Your soul. People ask me, why did you move to Indiana? Why did you move where you moved? Because there's culture here. There's diversity here. There is a bunch of everything around here. And I'm even a minority in a minority over here. Um, with the Jewish last name, I might be one in one, however the value of our population here in this town is. It's unseen. There's no temples, there's no synagogues, there's just a bunch of people. It, but I see people for their beautiful souls. I'm not colorblind. I think people need to get out of that political correctness, that thought process that everybody has it this and that. We're all on equal playing fields in terms of God. God gave you and many, many choices, and you chose your circumstances, the color of your skin, the circumstances that you're living. You chose them. Take responsibility, and the what you chose was to overcome your adversity. You chose that path. You chose, your children chose you. You chose a lot of things, and it might be very hard and difficult to taste. Trust me, my life is not freaking sunshines and glitter farts. It's ugly and sad and suffering and painful, but I chose it to learn. When you can detach your strife and what you were in the program on, you were programmed to hate people. You learned to hate. You learned to criticize and point fingers, and you learned how to just be a person that didn't stand for anything, and let the evildoers, or what you called evildoers, the negative polarity, take control over you. Now is the time to take your power back. Take your power back. Stop allowing anybody to dictate to you how you feel politically, religiously, spiritually. You go out, you dress whatever, just be your authentic self. But stop allowing other people to tell you how to feel and how to do you. I could care less. I wake up and yeah, I have to mature my look. I am still who I am. You still show up respectfully in their dimension in the world, respectfully. Show up and your energy is going to vibrate. You're going to attract better and beautiful people in your life. Stop lowering yourselves and having all like this hatred and this angst and anger, because that's not going to cause you to get any upliftment in your life. You're going to keep continuing to be in a frequency that no one's going to appreciate you, and you're going to be an island of one, and no one wants that. Let's change the world and let's change the perception we have of each other. We were all things. We all know the struggle. We all know what it is to feel abundant. We drop the veil of forgetting and we forget these things. But now we're in the remembering phase. And I hope that many people remember you're not alone and you're not doing this alone. And the fact of the matter is you got to move forward. We need each other, and we need every race, color, creed, language to unify together. It can't just be America. It has to be everybody. And yes, there are evil people trying to have power over you, and I get it, but stop feeding the dichotomy, stop feeding the reality that exists in. It's not to say ignore it, but don't feed it your every thought and give it energy, because it's going to perpetuate in the karmic loop. Chapter 4 is on criticism. Criticism. How are you enjoying being tolerant? I am sure you have said many "ka" and have had it shouted at you too, and you are all the better for it. Face within. Here's another lesson that seems to me to be even harder than the one on tolerance. When somebody says something unkind about you, what do you think you do about it? Do you go off and sulk? Do you become angry and want to fight back with ugly words? If you do, you are not only wasting time and energy, but you are losing the battle. What then should you do? First of all, look within yourself to see if there is not something that attracts to you this show of seeming unkindness. You know, like attracts like, and so perhaps you merit this unkind remark in some way. In many cases, you'll find the cause of the trouble within yourself. And when you do, then face yourself squarely and say, all right, here is my chance to improve. I am thankful for the remark that brought this fault of mine to my attention. If you cannot honestly find any fault within yourself that would cause unkindness from another, then do you not think the wise thing to do would be to pray, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do? I say that all the time. Jesus did that, and whose example could be grander? Then you will not be poisoned in mind and body for the forces of resentment or anger. Yes, I mean poison, because it has been proven scientifically that anger puts into your bloodstream so much poison that a drop of blood from an angry person would kill a small animal into those veins it was injected. Then 2 more evil thoughts will come back to you if you send them out, for the law we mentioned before always works. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. It is a sign of ignorance to criticize, a sign of jealousy, a sign of lack of principle. You recall the old saying, an idle brain is the devil's workshop. Let us do as our master taught us. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Now here's a sneaky little sin that tries to creep in when you're not looking. It tries to get you to notice and do things, nice things, just for what you will get in return. Watch out for it, because it will and would spoil much of the good you might do. Ask the Christ to help you to want to do kindness just for the sake of giving joy to someone else and glorifying God. Here is a splendid thing to do, and one that will work too if you are in earnest. Every morning and every time you feel naughty thoughts coming in, pray either silently or aloud. Oh Christ, please think through me, feel through me, speak through me, and act through me. Thank you. Amen. When your mind is filled with this prayer, then none of the evil thoughts can find lodgment in your mind or heart. You see, even your thoughts can be felt by others, so you will need to keep them as clean and kind as your tongue. Yes, thoughts rush out of your mind to the place you send them, and they bring back to you the same kind of force that you sent out. So watch. There's so much I have to say. Hey, we're going to pause here. In work environments, in professional environments, you can't always show up. Hi. Because it doesn't work all the time with other people. You have to know that at certain levels of vibration, you have to play the ping pong match of vibration. There are people that need tough love, and tough love is coming from a pure, intentful, beautiful spot, for they know not. They don't not, or they're not mature in the maturity level that they need to comprehend this at a higher frequency, at a higher level of understanding. People only adapt and perceive at the level of where they're at. You might be aged in wisdom and have gone through many different experiences that have taught you not how to react to certain things. And people are going to react the way they do from the level of where they're at. But in a mature sense, sometimes it is okay to give criticism where it's going to help give somebody perspective that they know not in the moment of their mistake. There's plenty of times we are so in autopilot, meaning you're just running your 9 to 5 day or whatever time that you do work, that you're in a job and you're just going about life doing you, but on autopilot. So you're not necessarily consciously aware of what is coming out of you. You're just going through the motions every day. You're just in a script. You're in the movie, but you're not being the star in your movie. You're just an active participant in it, the backdrop people. Life gets that way sometimes, and you have to give yourself grace and compassion also to say, I can do better. Apologize. Or say, well, I see this differently. Impasses happen all the time. It's how you happen to handle the impasse and the reactionary viewpoint from that impasse that will make you more Christ-like, perhaps. I don't know. But you got to be easy with yourself, because we all are human. We make mistakes. We say things sometimes we regret, or that we came from a place of we knew not, or we were running an autopilot and I didn't even realize I said something, right? That happens too. You're not even remembering the things that came out of your mouth because you weren't consciously thinking the thoughts, they just subconsciously came out. Your face. Did you know that your face shows the kind of thoughts you think? They do. Yes, just look in the mirror and see if it is reflecting kind and loving thoughts. Do you do this each day and watch the improvement? Ask God or Christ, who is God's ray in you, sometimes called the higher self, to keep your thoughts clean. That is what is meant in this beautiful prayer. Create in me a clean heart, O Lord, and renew a right spirit within me. Ask God to wash your heart and mind clean and to help you to overcome all the sins of past incarnations, which have left their mark on your face and on your body too. Even if a face is not beautiful in features, it may become radiant and loving and strong through right thinking and prayer. Our teacher often says it is not persons or things or circumstances that hurt us, but our reaction to them. In other words, it is our reactions and our thoughts about things and circumstances, as well as our feelings about them, that do us good or harm. I like to put it in this way. 'Tisn't things that make you happy, nor a lack of things that make you blue. It's thoughts that bring you joy or sorrow. So it's strictly up to you. The blues. One of our students wrote recently, I awakened with a great sense of depression or blues. If I had given in to them and gone downstairs among the family and among other people, I should have made them all feel my gloom. I remembered what you had taught me. So I went right to the bathroom and looked and took, we're not going there. They went to the bathroom to cleanse themselves. Oh my God. To get rid of the body poisons that I knew had something to do with my blues. Then I prayed to God to flood me with his love and cheer and finished by asking what he would think and feel and act through me. In a half an hour, I went downstairs cheerful and happy over the victory I had won with God's help, and I noticed that others smiles because of my smile. One of life's greatest thrills is the feeling of victory over one's own temper or blues or other weakness. Try it and see for yourself and keep trying until you win. But you don't need to go to the bathroom to do that cleanse, by the way. Oh my God. I'm not mentioning that. If we put this and postulate it in modern times, like, yes, like you having a bad day, showing up to work, and not alchemizing your feelings, and you walk in the room like, everybody else is going to feel it and you're not going to be well received, right? I could go back in time and look at all the times where I was in detrimental pain. And I did not come in like I came in a lot of pain. I did not take it out on anybody. I just asked, I need help today. Well, what's wrong? Well, I'm in a lot of pain and I don't want to get frustrated because I can't do something because of the pain. Can I get some help? It took me a long time to actually be able to convey that in words to others. And I never really took out my pain, but I also didn't learn how to vent it properly either. I masked what was going on inside my body, which was an illness. When we go into professional systems, we go out into the public. I had to learn how to navigate Well, my life is extremely uncomfortable. I'm not happy with it, but I don't want anybody else to rub that frequency off on themselves. So I'm going to just alchemize, not suck it into my soul and let it sit there. But I try to be more motivating and say, hey, like if I can get through these difficult times, you can too. It doesn't take away or disperse the energy, but I kind of alchemize it and saying, hey, I'm living an experience that's very uncomfortable, and I'm gonna come at it in a direct way where I'm not lying, I'm not being inauthentic, but I'm also not dwelling and sitting in the negativity. I'm going to apply positive reinforcement to overcome the obstacle. And that's what I think a lot of people need to learn. Yes, we all have difficulties that go on in our lives. We all have circumstances and things that come up that there's no control over. And it's how you react to that that feeds the better timeline, the better energy, the better you, the authentic self. And it's not an easy process to learn how to look at your situation and alchemize it, because it's still going to be a heavy burden to bear depending on what circumstances you're going through. I know for myself, my circumstances are dire, but I'm not going to sit and, oh my God, what am I going to do? I don't know. I don't know, but I'm not letting it sit on my head anymore, and I'm not letting it like lower my frequency. I'm doing what I can when I can every day. I can only show up for myself in the best capacity that I can. Today I sat and I had some self-care. I slept in. I don't get to do that often. And it's nice when I have those opportunities. Beautiful things have been happening, like little pings from the universe. They're not going to come every day, but I have to show up for myself each and every day, and hope all of you do the same. We're in difficult times. We're in chaos right now. And this book is, interestingly enough, not in the modernistic ways, but in the olden ways, trying to help us navigate the things that a lot of us navigate. Detoxing, changing up the diet, changing up your routine, changing up something that, even the decor of your house, or decluttering, whatever it is. Some of us, I can't help, I can't change my diet until life hits me differently, but all for the right reasons. I'm gonna leave it here. Chapter 5 will be two selves. That shall be interesting. But I hope that all of you had gotten something from these two chapters. I hope each and every one of you has a blessed and beautiful holiday. If I don't see you on the channel, I know it gets busy. It's the 20th, 5 more days. So I know people are doing their thing on vacation or doing whatever have you. I'm sending you all from my heart space so much love, light, joy. Please be safe. Sending love, light, compassion, grace, shielding, and protective energy. Please go within. Be the shoulders, be the lighthouse, seed your truths, light that path forward. Please have a beautiful holiday, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever is out there. There's Saturnalia, there's Krumpisch. I can't say that. German. There's so much going on out there. Happy solstice. Just happy holidays. I'm not trying to discriminate against anybody. Please send out the peace, love, and harmony that this world deserves, that we all need, and take the time, if you're in hermit zone, to do better work for yourself, on yourself. Tackle that shadow. Do something different each day. Change up your routine. Do something to make some changes in your life. I'm trying. I'm doing that. I'm arriving at the reality that I am financially abundant. Keep something going and send good and merry cheer to everybody. I hope to see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if any one of my videos resonates and aligns in your heart space, please hype it. That you could do that on phones and tablets. Hype my videos. There are not many that you can hype a day or a week, but help me out. And until the next time, guys, thank you. Have a great, blessed, and beautiful day ahead. Bye for now.